Hey guys, Mixed Media Girl here. Today we're going to do a combination technique of a swipe and a string pull. And I'm going to use just black, white, and gold. So with a swipe, there is no specific technique that you need to follow. You are going to literally just put paint on your canvas in any order, sequence, pattern you want. You can do it as a clean pour. What I'm doing right now is a clean pour, and that's where you put the colors on one at a time. Or you can do it as a dirty pour, which means you put all the colors together in a cup and then you pour them on the canvas like that. So this is, like I just said, the clean pour method. And these are, the white and black are Artist Loft Flow Acrylics. And then the gold is Folkart metallic paint. These are all mixed with Floetrol and water. I will put the ratios and materials all in the description. Okay. Now you can swipe with just about anything, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my canvas is covered, because it's kind of not fun when you swipe and there's a little spot of the canvas blank and then you can't really re-swipe to get it covered, at least not easily. So I like to pre-cover the canvas. You can do this like I'm doing here by just kind of tapping out any spots. You can also tilt ahead of time, whatever is your preference. So I like to do this and then also tilt, just to make sure we get it covered and we don't have it super thick in any particular spots. Now what I love about swipes is it can go from something like this, being a totally hot mess, to being something super awesome. Also underneath here I have my Lowly Vethe silicone mat. So any of the paint here that I'm dripping off will just be peeled off when it's dry and reused. So that's pretty exciting. All right. This is actually kind of cool as it is. I actually really like this. I haven't done these colors together in a combination in a while, and I just was looking at some pieces recently and realizing how much I love these colors together. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm right-handed, and for whatever reason it's easier for me to swipe in this direction. I'm going to put a little bit of extra black paint over here. Just a little bit. And then that's kind of going to be my swipe color, but all these colors will go as well. Now I'm using cardboard. You can use a paper towel, you can use plastic. The point is you want it down on the canvas, but you don't want it pressing down on the canvas, because you don't want to wipe all the paint off. You do want it as flat as possible, and just a delicate touch. Oh, I missed I missed a few spots there. That is okay. For this technique, it's not a big deal at all. I'm going to go ahead and just go over one more time. There's no silicone in this. In a swipe, I normally use silicone because I'm normally going for a lot of cells. This time I'm not. I'm going to just swipe this part. Ah, that part is like really stubborn. There we go. Okay. Good. And then I'm also going to go ahead and tilt, because I'm going to be doing a string pull is the next part of this technique, and I want to make sure that the paint on my canvas is really thin. If it's not really thin when you try to do the string pull, your whatever designs you make will just disappear into the wet paint. So we're going to stretch this out. All right, excellent. You can see that gold popping up a bit. It did kind of sink a little, but as we go ahead and do our string pull, it'll come up a lot more. So now in terms of the string pull, you can do a string pull with virtually anything. I'm just using this cotton string. You don't want to use something too thin like a thread, but any string will work. You can even use ribbon. You can use the ball chains like from necklaces. And I'm going to do the string pull with white and gold. So I'm going to pour this directly on my mat. But if you don't have a silicone mat like this, you would just use a plate or something. And for the first couple, I'm going to do it with white and gold. You can really do as many colors as you want. You could do a whole rainbow here if you wanted to. But I'm going to do white and gold, and then for some future ones, I'll probably just do one or the other, or I'll stick with this. I don't know. We're going to take our string. I'm going to dip it thoroughly in this paint. Need to make sure most of it's covered without getting it tangled. And then there's no rules on this part. You can put it in any pattern you want. My favorite is the kind of back and forth because it makes this awesome flower pattern. And you want to pull straight towards you. You don't want to pull up at all, just straight towards you. So as you can see, it kind of sunk back in a little bit there. That's okay. It just means that there's still quite a bit of paint on the canvas. And that's why it's important to have only a little bit of paint, like have a thin layer of paint. You could even brush on a thin layer of paint if you want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this part up because I'm just gonna be doing some more flowers. Same technique. All right, guys, I'm pretty happy with this piece. So I just want to point out that you can do any kind of patterns you want. So when I'm nearing the end here and I want to maybe fill in some of the lower parts, I generally just loop it like this and just pull. And that way too, you can get more specific areas covered. So like if I want a petal right here, I can go ahead and just put one literally right there without having to do an entire string pull. So that's one of the things you can do. Another thing you can do is take your string and kind of make it into some other leaves just by kind of pulling like that. Add a little bit more interest if you'd like. So maybe some other like foliage that's sticking up. There's really there's no rules to this, and there's endless possibilities. You just keep working it until you're happy. And you can do patterns that aren't flowers. Try not to drip on your painting like that. I don't know if you guys saw that, it just dripped there. But you can do patterns that aren't flowers, but this is one of the easiest ways to make some really pretty flowers. Let's go ahead and do a close-up. So you can see after I did that swipe, a lot of the gold had disappeared, but now a lot of it has come back up. Metallics especially tend to assist in creating cells. Look how gorgeous that is. You can use silicone with this technique. I just don't advise it. You'll get kind of a lot of holes in your flowers. All right, guys, so there you go. Very simple technique, really basic, really easy to do. You don't have to do it as a swipe to do the flower or the string pull. You can do a string pull on anything, on just a plain background. You can do another acrylic pouring technique, or you can do it like this as a swipe. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.